Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Dave's Faves. And today I want to talk to you about a little set, a set of symphonies by none other than Alexandre in French, whatever, Scriabin. Scriabin symphonies. Yeah, most people sort of look at them as you pet your slobbering dog, oh, it's okay, Fido. You made a mess on the floor, but we'll clean it up. We know you like it and that you didn't mean it and you're friendly and sweet. And, Scriabin's kind of like that. He wrote some amazing piano music. He was a theosophist. He was sort of out of his mind. And his music was so shamelessly obviously attempting to be something it's not, transcendental, that it's easy to joke about. But he was really a very, very fine composer in a late romantic, decadent, post-Wagnerian kind of style. And he wrote 5 symphonies, or 5 works that he sort of called symphonies, even when they were sort of symphonic poems or something else. And they're remarkable pieces, quite frankly. They're full of personality and character and vision of a sort. Maybe it was somewhat foggy vision at times, but it's vision. And they've never been better performed than by Riccardo, Muti, and the Philadelphia Orchestra. I think it's symptomatic of the sort of kid gloves with which Scriabin gets treated, and shamelessly one of the kid glovers, because I just think it's more fun that way, but that these were licensed to Brilliant Classics. I don't think they're available in Brilliant Classics anymore, especially since the big Muti box came out on EMI. But boy, they've never been played like this. They're phenomenal. Of course, there are Russian recordings by conductors like Golovanov, who was just a complete Scriabin animal. Incredible. But those were recorded, off the air in 1937. So, Scriabin needs really, really great sound because his sonic concept, he was a chord guy. One of the ultimate chord guys. He wasn't a line guy at all. He's not into counterpoint or anything like that. He's into yummy, voluptuous harmonies, and lots of them in sequence. And in the orchestral works, lots of them orchestrated with incredible richness and color. He also had synesthesia. He saw colors when he heard music. He was like Messiaen in that respect. And I think my sister too, actually. Hi, Joe. Anyway, yeah, some people do that. They have their synapses wired in such a way that certain sensory input results in intriguing and alternate sensory output. One of Scriabin's great inventions was this color harmonica, or thing where you were supposed to see specific colors as his music was being performed. So it's a major element. And that idea of color is, of course, systematically carried through in his orchestration. So what do we got here? What are the 5 symphonies? Well, the first is, it's a choral symphony, actually, believe it or not, and it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movements, 50 minutes long. It's ambitious, and it should be taken seriously accordingly. It's a big, powerful choral thing. And then number 2 has 5 movements. You'll see none of these are traditional, which is also a very good thing. It means that Scriabin was his own person, that he was original. We should give some credit for his originality when it comes to that stuff. It's in 5 movements, and it's very grandiose. It's a big, warm, jolly, tempestuous hunk of late romantic Sturm und Drang. I think it's really rather cool. I don't play it all that often, to be honest with you, but when I do, I really, really enjoy it. And then we've got the 3rd symphony, which is Le Divin Poème. Well, now he's starting to get into his theosophist period and get into the divine oneness of everything and the musical striving for incredible transcendence and all that stuff. And it has 3 movements. And it's just wonderful looking at the movement titles. The first is the introduction, Divin, Grandiose, Yeah, divine and grandiose. Then comes lutte, struggles in French. Allegro, mystérieux, tragique, sombre, haletant, précipité. Yeah. And then we get volupté, as in voluptuous. For the slow movement, lento, sublime. You got to give the guy props. He had chutzpah. Who writes a piece of music and says, play it like it's sublime? Whatever that means, it is. And let's see, it's sublime and it's divin. Yes, divin essai. Okay, yeah, really divine. Super duper uber divine. And then jeu divin. Divine games. Divine play. Avec une joie éclatante. Yeah, with like a really, really noisy, bright joy. That's the third symphony. The fourth, you all know, it's Le Poème d'Extase, the poem of ecstasy. And the fifth is Prometheus, Le Poème de Feu, the poem of fire, which is for orchestra and piano and choir and all that stuff going on. In this case, we have Dmitry Alexiev joining at the piano, again with the Philadelphia Orchestra under Muti, and they just go crazy on this stuff. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. It's kind of fascinating that Ormandy only did the poem of ecstasy. I think he did Prometheus too. I don't remember, but he should have done them all in stereo back in the day, but he didn't. And Muti did, and he has this combination of the natural Philadelphia richness of sound with his own, innate feeling for rhythm and tension and operatic lyricism. And oh my goodness, it's just a field day of musical excess. I love this set. I really do. Again, like I said, you have to be in the mood. It's like having a very rich dinner. You don't want to make yourself sick to your stomach. You take it in small doses, but when you want it, you really want it. Nobody wants diet ice cream, stuff like that. It's silly. The idea is ridiculous. If you're going to go for it, you go all the way, and they go all the way. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.